Now let's talk fungal diseases of the skin. There are some similarities with bacteria, but some important differences. We won't go into a whole lot of detail, but I want to make sure we understand some of the basics. Mycosis is the medical term for a fungal infection. If we're talking about something that's out on the hair, nails, and skin, those would be cutaneous mycoses, so fungal infections that are on outer layers of the body. And some similarities, the way they look, you usually get a reddish rash if it's on the skin, but something that's different with the bacteria. Usually bacteria would be a bunch of separate individual spots. With fungus, it's a place where the fungus or spores have gotten into the skin, and then it will spread out from there as the mycelia, or those thread-like growths of cells spread out. So usually with fungus you get one big rash. And the biggest difference between what bacteria are doing when they're getting down in between cells to deeper layers and what fungus do is that fungus can metabolize keratin. So they're actually digesting and breaking down that tough protein as an energy source. And the bacteria we talked about, they aren't doing that. So a couple of examples of fungal infections. This is showing athlete's foot down around the toes. You have this kind of wet, sheltered, dark space that fungus can grow. That's a fungal infection. This one here is called ringworm. People used to think it's a worm. It's not actually a worm. It's a soil bacteria that can get into the skin. And also, if the fungus gets onto hair or fingernails or toenails, it usually turns it yellowish, brittle. The fingernails and toenails will look different. The hair might become brittle and fall out. Those would be other examples of fungal infections.